And joining me on the podcast and on video, it's Alan Green, CEO of Brand Communications. You're right, Al, with your big headphones on.
My big headset on, yes. I just find it easy to hear this way, and also it shuts out all the background noise. Yeah, very good, very good. I see what you did there. So it shuts out all the background noise, dogs barking, doorbells going. You know what it's like when you work from home.
Yeah. When you get some AirPods, they're good, very good.
Yeah, but it's what you say that. I mean, they work very well for you, but I do have a colleague, and he'll know who he is when he watches this video. And whenever I speak to him on his pods that he has in, they always kind of cut out and do strange things. So no,
are they Apple or are they the cheap version?
You tell me. No idea at all. No idea at all. But
the only thing
is that they're white and they look just like yours. So.
Okay, yeah. The only thing is the little seal things, the little things that go on the end, I had to change those because the ones they come with is like silicon. They just slip out of my ears, and so I've obviously got very odd ears because they don't fit in. So you get these rubber foam ones, which are quite nice. But they got two settings. You just grab them and they completely black out all the noise. Or you can have it semi, so you can hear a bit of background. Literally, I'll come from walking the dog and have them on, sort of, completely blackout. And my wife is talking to me, and I just can't hear it.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Imagine the technology, amazing. All right, so look at this, Al. I'll share the screen with you, okay? Look, this is the FTSE 100. Look at this. Look at this. See that there? Look at that. Up nicely today. Up.
It's up nice. That's it's on the verge of another breakout, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or it could be, but
1.64% up there. Look at that. That's a previous high there.
Look at
back at 8,000.
So we had that low, that low in January, and really, it's just we've just had a series of higher lows since then, haven't we? That's a really sort of strong looking chart. That says to me, we're
going higher.
Yeah, it's going to go.
Well, look at this. You've got a series here of lower highs, pretty much, and then it stopped here, and the high there, and the bottoms hit this 7.2 level, and you got a higher low here, and then you got a higher high, and they came back down, higher low, and then broke out this wedge format pattern, and it's broken higher. Now it's on that previous high. It's good, and even look at the FTSE 250, which is of course more domestically facing companies or based companies, and that's off its lows nicely. And in fact, this line here, that's where the bull market starts in the FTSE 250. AIM is not quite there, but it's trying to get there. It's trying to move up nicely. It's come off a low there, but it's moving sideways nicely. So looking good. Looking good.
AIM is well overdue a recovery, but it will always lag the main indices, won't it? As we've all found out. And do you have an Aquis chart there, by any chance?
No.
Okay.
Of what? Of Aquis?
Oh, yeah.
The company. Yeah.
Well, not Aquis itself. No. Just a chart of the Aquis.
No, I can't. I don't do it on TradingView or anything.
No. Okay. Just been to see
up
that.
the game a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about individual companies. A couple of news out there. There's lots of news out. There's news from E-Energy. There's news from Brave Bison, Frenkel Topping. I think one of the biggest risers today, Made Tech, which they announced a contract worth 19 million. They've had a bit of a hard time, but even with that, the growth is coming down next couple of years forecast. But they've had a nice bit of a rally there, but they are still sort of burning a bit of cash. But what do you want to look at, Al?
Well, let's start with Frenkel Topping. Again, this is it's a great little company because it's a very cash generative company and it just ticks along quietly doing its own thing. But we've seen other companies in these spaces beforehand, in the space of financial advice, financial services, also legal services. And these companies are really coming into their own. They just quietly get on and do it. And you see, maybe in your local town or village, you'll see somebody that's running a financial guidance or assessment company, and these companies just quietly make money. They gain commission from all the clients that they work with, and it's a real cash cow of a company. So Frenkel Topping are in a slightly more specialist area. They provide financial advice and asset protection to clients at times of financial vulnerability. In particular, they're experts in the field of personal injury and also clinical negligence. And of course, we've seen a lot over the past few years of these dreadful cases in hospitals where loved ones suffer needlessly. We can say, without getting into the whys and wherefores, of course, we all know the NHS is incredibly overtaxed and under-resourced, and without going into the details here, but nonetheless, there are tragic events and there are cases to answer. So this is where Frenkel Topping come into their own. They have a 99% client retention rate. They're consolidating currently what is a fragmented personal injury and clinical negligence space. They also have a major trauma signposting partnership working with inside the major NHS trauma centres. So these people are there to assist and help. And within all that, the people that invest with them, they have a discretionary fund manager called Essentia, which manages portfolios for clients in unique circumstances. Now, this might be where a client has had a payout from the NHS and they need to manage those funds, maybe to take care of a loved one for whatever reason. So it's a really important service. They also have a Sharia law compliant portfolio, and they're also very much into ESG as well. So with ESG portfolios. And we saw a really, really strong set of numbers from the company this morning, which I think just goes to illustrate how strong this company is.
Look at this. This is MicroCap League. They are ranked 39 out of 136 companies. They're quite good. They're top sort of quartile. And they say their target price for them broker is 80 pence. That's 53% up on before this pre-market open. Market cap 65 million. Enterprise value. It's in green there. So you can see you've got more cash than debt. And yeah, one thing is in red here is that the average daily volume is quite low. So be careful if you're taking a big chunk of this, because it may move the price a bit. But yeah, revenue 32 million. Operating profit 5, which is nice. Cash 2.4, no debt, which is always nice to see. Operating cash flow 3.2 million. And if you scroll down to you see here, this is growth. The values are a little bit questionable. Momentum again on the chart. It has been in a downtrend, but it's seemingly trying to break that now. I mean, if you put a 50-day moving average on, where is the 50-day? It has broken that, so that's a good first start. But going back, this is the results here. Top line growth, look, 32%. Operating profit growth, 75%. Net profit growth, in fact, it's not as good as it's gone down a little bit there. But operating cash flow, all good, all green. Top scorer on the growth, which is essential for a growth company. Yeah.
Top scorer on the growth front. Also, net cash up 357% to 3.2 million this time around. So their net cash position as a company has improved massively, and of course that's the mark of any successful company. So they're generating plenty of profit. Everyone's earning well from the business, but it's also growing its net cash position at the same time, which of course gives it an arsenal to do what it did today, what it also announced today, which is the acquisition of Northwest Law Services. Founded 1982 in Chester. This company specializes in the same area. So Frenkel Topping have gone and bought them they've agreed 2.75 million. They're paying out 1.65 million initially, a further 550,000 in a year's time, and the remaining 550,000 a year after that. So they've also announced a revolving credit facility too with Santander, which is really sort of help them start the year. They're continuing with their rollout strategy with these strategic bolt-on acquisitions throughout the year, and they see for this year a record number of pipeline opportunities. So I think we can expect to see that net cash position improve, profit margins improve, and Frenkel Topping will grow from a fairly minor backwater player at the moment. It could grow into a major player in the sector.
Yeah, I was going to say a slight correction there, Al. Operating cash flow is 3.2, so net cash is 2.4. But
net cash 2.4.
Yeah. But it's I mean, the only thing here is like it's not particularly cheap at the moment. I mean, it's like the PE is 33, but EV/EBITDA is good, 10. Price free cash flow is a bit expensive, but the health is good, efficiency is good. Look at that, gross margins 42, operating margin 15, return on capital employed, which is how efficient you are with your capital and employing that is 11.2, above 10 is normally good. The only thing questionable, like I said, it is the momentum there. It needs to get above that 200-day moving average, really. So it's gone in a
Yeah,
downtrend for quite a while. But I do like this company, and
but I think also
uh,
the company pays a dividend as well, which is important. 2.5%
yeah,
dividend
yeah,
and 1.375
yeah,
pence per share. So that's for a small company like this, that's a hugely confident signal to me. The company's prepared and happy to pay a dividend because it knows its business, it understands the revenue streams in its business, and it expects growth, which is great.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, this year's growth is very good. The forecasts are not as good as this, but they are sort of in the next 2 years double digit nevertheless. And but of course that could grow. Forecasts just trying to predict the future a little bit, so they could go upwards. But yeah, I think it's kind of a decent amount of upside. Cool. So that's FEN Frenkel Topping. What's next, Al? It's a funny old name, that Frenkel Topping, isn't it? It's
Well,
like
this
if
was
you
even fun.
go on.
So you got Frenkel Topping, and now we've got Brave Bison. I mean, two
I
funny
know,
names.
but that's like Frank. It's like going to a flashy ice cream parlor. Would you like some
Exactly. Yes.
Frankel topping, please? No, I'll have some Brave Bison on that, thanks. Cheers.
I'll have some Brave Bison sprinklings on that. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
BBSN. So they're in sort of advertising and stuff like that, and social media and they sort of
Well,
stuff.
they're a digital advertising and technology services company. They're headquartered in London, as you expect, but they've got a workforce working globally in 10 different countries around the world. It provides services to advertisers via four primary channels. Brave Bison Performance is number one, which plans and buys media on social media channels and platforms like TikTok and Google. Also provides SEO services, search engine optimization, and digital PR. They then have Social Chain, which they acquired last year, and Oliver Green said in the results announcement today, the acquisition of Social Chain has transformed our proposition to advertisers looking to connect with younger and more niche audiences on social media platforms. So creates content for social media platforms, where they work with influencers to create content. Brave Bison Commerce, this is the e-commerce side of the business, which builds e-commerce platforms to support digital commerce operations. I mean, client examples there are Furniture Village and Fiskars. And then Brave Bison Media Network, which is a portfolio of channels across YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. They have over 1 billion monthly views. So that's pretty impressive. Those are strong numbers. And as I say, Oliver Green said today, Social Chain's acquisitions transformed the advertiser proposition, but the numbers are hugely strong again. Turnover up 30% to 35.7 million. Net revenue, gross profits up 23% to nearly 21 million. Adjusted EBITDA up 42% to 4.3 million. Adjusted pre-tax or profit before tax 38% higher at 3.6 million. Net cash up 10% to nearly 7 million. So again, another really strong cash generative company. And the company says that the outlook, current trading is ahead of the prior year, and they're confident of meeting expectations in 2024. So that says to me, if we carry on like this, we're going to see a significant outperformance, which is going to be great all round, both for the advertising market and also for shareholders in Brave Bison. And a nice chart too, shares currently trading at 2.
Apart from the day, what happened there? I mean, they're struggling to get above that 290 level, a 2.9 level, 2.9 pence. And it smacked against that on Friday and down today, move my head out of the way, down to 13% on that. But I mean, if you look at they are, I mean, it's more red on the screen here, but the brokers have a target of 0.34 pence. So it's now on 2.8, market cap 36. I said, it's again a little bit illiquid, but operating profit here, 1 million, operating cash flow 1.8. Free cash flow minus 2.9. You see, it's not as green as Frenkel Topping here. Net profit growth is up 63%, but nevertheless, double digits, 13%. In this environment, it's quite good, I think, in the backdrop of the economic downturn, because companies in the space tend to take a bit of a hit in this environment. So
Well, they do,
I
but they
think
all,
they're sort of proud of this performance in this
yeah,
environment, really.
yeah, but they also recover more rapidly
Yeah.
than players in other sectors. So if you're looking at a market recovery, the advertising market is going to recover more strongly, I would suggest, than Frenkel Topping's market. So
Mm.
whilst Frenkel Topping is a great cash cow in that regard, I'd say the opportunity and the potential upside in the near term I'd probably favour Brave Bison at this moment in time. Of course, Brave Bison doesn't pay a dividend at the moment, which is another factor to consider. But certainly for capital growth, I mean, we've seen shares hit a year high of 3.1p, and it's come off on the news today. But I think a lot of traders were buying into the prospect, certainly after the trading statement, of a strong set of results. I don't think they're disappointed, but I think you're just seeing some profit taking today. And I would expect normal service and that share price to start to climb toward the end of this week.
Yeah, a decent amount of cash there for a company this size. 36
Mm.
million market cap, but 29 million enterprise value due to having close to 7 million in cash. I mean, PE of 11 is fine for a growing company. Health is good. Efficiency is okay on the gross. Operating margin needs to go up, but it was an uptrend. This is a close of day on Friday. It was an uptrend, but due to the day now, it's gone down to the 50-day moving average a little bit. So it needs to settle down. But you often see final results as a liquidity event for certain holders, and they know they can get a decent sort of chunk out if they need to.
Yeah.
And so the volume goes up on generally final results days. Cool. All right, Brave Bison, one to keep an eye on. Two decent companies there in the MicroCap League. I think that's rank 45, I think, out of 136. Marv's, what's next, fella?
Okay, so European green transition. We, of course, saw this company come to market a few weeks ago. EGT is the EPIC code. Company's come to market on AIM. And this, of course, is from the Carl Friel stable of companies. Very much, very strongly supported. Raised 6.45 million at IPO and a further 500,000 from retail investors. The company IPO'd at 10p and it popped straight up to 11p, and it's continued its growth. We've seen the shares touch 13p very briefly, and it's currently trading at 2.2p. So the company's been set up to capitalize on the green energy transition. Board, of course, including Carl Friel and the management team, have extensive networks across finance and resource sectors. And of course, Carl Friel in particular is very much a serial entrepreneur and a huge success on the stock market due to his work with Cove Energy and latterly Amrit Pharma, which of course he basically invested into and sold on for a huge profit. And of course he bought Open Orphan to market, now hVivo, and the company currently now has a market cap well in excess of 200 million. He's also executive chairman on Poolbeg Pharma, but he's got a lot of experience in the resources space. And when Carl Friel sees an opportunity, it's good for the market because he's a very shrewd investor. He won't make a move into a sector unless he sees a real opportunity to make money. But what I like about him is he puts his money where his mouth is. He'll stay locked into this company until it achieves what he wants it to achieve, and only then might he start to sell out a bit. But the core strategy here is to advance assets in the clean energy sector. He's looking at that they have three primary projects: the Alstrom rare earths project in Sweden. There's a graphite project in Sweden, and also some projects in Saxony in Germany, which are base metal projects. So the company has been set up primarily to develop these assets. They're looking at other assets and other opportunities where they could potentially buy into. But the strategy is going to be very similar to what he's done previously, which is to monetize assets through sale or partnership. So in other words, they'll develop an asset to a certain point and then look to partner with a much larger company. And we've seen how this works. I mean, Sovereign Metals, for example, they have the Cassia, Rutile and graphite project in Malawi. Rio Tinto cornerstone that about a year ago with an investment of $40 million. they're also major shareholders, and I think there's a general expectation now that Rio will probably take it on and run with it. But that's the sort of that's the sort of development that we're looking at here with the projects that Carl is working with. Most recent news since the IPO, the company announced on April 15th that it had received a drill permit to undertake 9,000 meters of drilling across 42 holes at the Alton Rares project, including an infill drilling program. They expect to get the results back before the end of the first half of this year, so that'll be around June time, I would imagine. But as I say, the fact this company's come to market against the background of what has been an extremely challenging time for resource companies, it's come to market with that money, and the share price has not only held up, it's actually gained as well. So that's a pretty good result from day one. So I think if you're going to back anything in this sector, you could do a lot worse than back Carl Friel and European Green Transition.
Yeah, I do like Carl. He's a nice guy, and like you say, he does. It's worth looking at that. I'm releasing a book soon now. How to become a microcap millionaire. Let me show you. There we are. Right, and I've been researching for this. I've been looking at 100 baggers and all that stuff. And there's not many. Well, in fact, there's quite a few traits I found for 10 baggers on the UK market. But they say 100 baggers. There's not many traits, but one of them is first of all, they start quite small. They're microcaps. Secondly, another trait is that the founder operator holds a lot of skin in the game.
Yep.
And so it's always worth looking at when you're looking at companies. Is the CEO, proper sort of founder, owner, sort of CEO, skin in the game, or is it a manager, but he's brought in there for just remuneration purposes, and essentially working at that company is just a paragraph in their CV. It will be, whereas owner operators is a different thing, isn't it? It's a legacy, it's a reputation, it's a skin in the game, so it's a lot more. So yeah, but so what's the market cap now? Because it's not on thing yet, it's not on.
Market cap currently is about 11 million.
And how much they raised, you say?
They raised 6.45 million from institutions, which included a big stake from Carl Friel's own Raglan Capital organization, and 500,000 from retail investors. So retail, and that was an IPO at 10p, and of course there would have been, I imagine, somewhere else with that too. So yeah, you've got the breakdown there. So, but also, so Aidan Lavelle is the CEO, very experienced engineer and geologist, and Jack Kelly, who's also vast experience, has worked alongside Carl on other projects. He's the chief finance officer, and there was a very good presentation the other week where all three of them were on, just talking through the opportunity. They're all very active on social media too, so you'll see a lot of information about there from the company pretty much day by day. So if you're interested in looking at the company, follow it on social media, and you'll see how the company works and how it develops, and you'll see a lot of input from Carl himself.
Yeah. Very interesting. It's I was looking at the homepage. I was transfixed for a second while you were talking earlier. I was transfixed by that. I mean, for people on the podcast, there's a Tesla, and it's essentially the landscape is largely countryside with a road going through it with lots of wind sort of turbines, wind generators there, just idly going around the background. But it's a Tesla driving on the road. And I thought, how long will that video go on for before it has to re-loop? I was watching it for ages, and I thought it's still going.
Did you say how long will the video go for before it has to re-loop, or before the Tesla has to recharge?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, which comes first? But look at that, it's still going. I'm looking at the little white Tesla going across this landscape with what are they? I can't think what they're called. Were they not windmills? What are they called?
Wind turbines.
Wind turbines. Yes.
Yeah.
There we are. Oh, they're starting again there. There we are. Check that out.
Just think, if you'd read H.G. Wells' original War of the Worlds back in the 19th century, warned about the Martians on the big tripod, coming across the seas and all the rest of it, and you were suddenly transported back to today, you'd think, oh God, it's come true. The Martians are here.
Look at that. Yeah. There's wind turbines, loads of them across there.
Yeah.
Marvelous stuff. Cheers for Al. Speaking next week.
Cheers, Josh. Speaking next week.